What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Just getting all sorts of
Confused?
twisted in my head. Yeah.
Confused.
Yes. Dugout is not the bullpen. Those are not the same thing.
No.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to. I was zippering up.
The way you said hello wasn't like you weren't sure we were starting. You're like, hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Underground Circuit podcast. As always, my name is Owen. That is my sister Casey. Today it is episode 115.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to be recapping Austria GP. A good race, a little less chaotic than last Austria GP. But we're going to be recapping that. We're going to be going over our predictions for Silverstone, and we're going to be going over our weekly news.
And predictions for Mid-Ohio.
And predictions for Mid-Ohio, because we forgot the last IndyCar race, too.
Yeah, so we have to give predictions.
We have to give predictions this time. But as always, we are going to start out with our memes of the week. Casey and I both have one, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you going first or me?
I can go first. I could have another one, but it has to do with a question for Pints and Pit Stops, so I didn't want to ask it.
Cannot give it away. I understand it.
It's
something so bad at Pints and Pit Stops.
No, you're going to know, so. But yes, this is mine. It's literally so simple. Whoever brought this cutout of Isaac Hadjar's face is so iconic. Thank you for doing that because it's so good. But this is from VCarb's TikTok or Instagram reel they posted with Isaac signing autographs, and then he's literally in the background of his own shot. But it's the perfect. He's making that face a lot in.
It's so good.
I think you know which one I think it's from. When they did the Office one, the dinner party with the TV. I think it's after after Liam pretends to put the TV in, it turns to Isaac and he's making that face. But yeah, that's my meme of the week. Like I said, simple. It's literally just for the photo of Isaac that I think is hilarious. So
it is. It's a good pick. It's a solid pick for meme of the week.
And I feel like for what the VCard boys give us, we haven't really had a lot of Isaac and Liam memes of the week, which I feel like we could have one from them every single week if we tried hard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We could literally have one every
We
single
could always find one from either of them. Absolutely.
But yes, so that was my meme of the week. Owen?
Very good. Mine is a little bit less little less funny, more of a oh shit scenario. So it's a photo of Nico Hülkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto, and then on the bottom is MaxVerstappen and Yuki Tsunoda, and it says Stake has scored more points than Red Bull in the past 3 races, and
that's wild.
It is 20 points since the Spanish GP for Stake, and 19 points for Red Bull since the Spanish GP. It's less funny. It is more shit.
Times have changed. The fact that that's how many. When last year we were is Stake ever going to score points?
Is Stake ever going to score points? When you think 2 years ago to being can anybody beat Max Verstappen?
Yeah.
This is just the fact that this is an actual picture. Whoa. Our notes.
Just giving our show away, people.
Giving the whole show away. The fact that this has happened since 2023 is just absolutely just diabolical.
Yeah, no, it's wild to think about, but yes, that was a good one. I also could have had another one, Nico Hülkenberg, because you showed Nico, so it made me think of it. Nico's wife posted a video of his daughter. She would say, the mom would say the driver's first name, and she would say the full driver name. It's so cute, in her little accent and everything. But she says Charles twice, and the second time, the mom's like, Charles, and the daughter's like, Leclerc? You just told me that I did this already.
Yeah, she knows she did it already. Yeah.
And then when she gets to Nico, she almost says it like Danny Ricciardo. She's like, Nico Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg.
It's so cute. But yes, that was our meme of the week. Weekly news. Got right into it. These two things happened today. We were recording on Monday this week. So this was this morning that it kind of happened really quickly. It was like a rumor, and the next thing you know, it was being announced. So it has been announced that Alpine has given Paul Aron to stake on a short-term loan to drive in FP1 in both Silverstone this upcoming weekend and Budapest, because they don't have any other rookie drivers. I think technically a reserve driver for stake is Dino, but Dino keeps doing the Ferrari one, so I don't think he can do it for them now for stake, so they needed someone. Right. But yes, I mean, I'm excited for Paul because it's a chance for him to be in the seat. I think this kid does deserve a shot. Obviously, Alpine is now saying Franco's on a race-by-race basis, but I mean, immediately when this happened, people were like, oh, so we're going to see Paul soon if he does a good job at FP1 for the next two races.
Because we said what? Franco has till Silverstone?
Well, no, technically Austria was the 5th race.
What's the 5th race? Okay.
Yeah, so and then they said during the broadcast, I heard a few times on F1 TV, they said that he was going to be driving in Silverstone. And then they started talking about different weight, how long it's been since there's been a driver on a race by race basis.
Yeah.
That is normal to see in IndyCar, but in F1 that's not normal to think about or you think you ever see. But yeah, so we'll get to see Paul Aron though during FP1 this upcoming weekend.
Don't have any doubt in my mind that we'll see Paul Aron at some point in a race. Even if it's Abu Dhabi. Yeah. And it's hey, just get him in. Kind of what they did with Jack.
Last year.
Yeah, with Jack last year, where it was hey, Alcon's on the way out. Let's just get Jack in for a race. I can see that happening again with Alpine.
Absolutely. Oh, so can I. I can totally see that happening. And then the next piece of news, this also happened earlier this morning. F1 confirmed that next year there will technically be 3 different preseason testings. There will be the first, and this makes the off season,
even shorter.
Basically a month.
Yeah.
Because there will be a private, 5-day private test in Barcelona from January 26th through the 30th, which thank God they kept saying they need to go back to Barcelona for testing. They need to go back because the conditions were more like what they would see in the beginning season when they're in Australia and it's maybe rainy and cool and all that stuff. So there'll be that private though makes me think it's not going to be race coverage that we see for normal preseason testing. But yes, that is the end of January. When you think about it, that's not that far away.
Nope.
And then the second 2 times will be in Bahrain. The second time will be February 11th through the 13th, and then the following week, February 18th through 20th. And those will be the normal Bahrain test that we're all used to. That kind of coverage and stuff. So yeah, lots of testing. I think it's also I didn't read any articles about it, but it's definitely because of the new regs.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I was going to kind of go with is this is 100% because it's new regs and everything, and they want to give the teams the most time possible to get used to them and get them on track and everything. And I think it's a smart move to do the Barcelona testing exactly for the reason that you mentioned. Yeah. It's a lot closer in climate and conditions to where the season will be starting in Australia.
Especially not to cut you off, but with Canada moving up earlier in May, Canada in May can be chilly. So
can be, yep.
You need to know what the cars are going to be in those kind of climates.
That would have been a huge ask on all the teams to develop a strong car and only with new regulations and only give them Bahrain as a testing area. So it's and it's sure, they can simulate all the climates and the conditions and everything and all this stuff. That's fine. Yep, absolutely. But it's never going to equate to actually getting it out onto the track.
Yeah, no.
So it's, I mean, I'm happy they're doing this. I would hope that we would still get to see this, the Barcelona testing. I know it says private, But I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the only spot that we would get to watch it would be like F1 TV.
I hope we get some coverage because it's going to be the new cars on the track, the new regs.
Right.
Like, everyone's going to want to see.
Everyone's going to want to see it.
But also, that's very early. I doubt we see car launches unless they're doing one big one again. Because when you think about it, the last day of Barcelona testing is January 30th. The first day of Bahrain is February 11th.
Yeah, but I thought they only did the big one this year
think they
because
only
it
did
was
for
75 years.
I do think so, but they're only giving them from the 30th to the 11th to announce all their liveries and everything and do all that stuff, shakedowns that they normally do in between.
Yeah, I mean,
busy January, February for content creators, that's for sure.
I mean, if you want to be honest, though, the teams have had prototypes of the new regs for a very long time. So I can imagine they have it all designed up and ready to roll.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, the question is, the teams aren't going to just run their race-ready setups and liveries in Barcelona during these testing sessions. It's just not going to happen.
It makes me think, because who was first this year before the big one? Williams. So when Williams dropped their car for this year during their own separate thing, we saw the car shape, but with last year's livery on it.
Right.
So that's what makes me think, like, Barcelona, we're going to see the new cars, but with last year's liveries on the cars before we see the new ones. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited for more testing. But yeah, the off season's going to be, you're going to blink.
I mean,
Christmas is going to come and go, and you're going to blink and come back.
The fact that it's literally going to be like the season ends the second week of December.
Yeah, look, it's late.
It's literally going to be second week of December, I think it is, around that time.
December 7th, the last race.
Right. So then you have less than a month to Christmas. Mm-hmm. Then from there, the Christmas to New Year stretch, or I'll say the holiday to New Year stretch, is a blink of an eye.
Yep.
Nothing gets done. It's in a blink of an eye. And then it's January, and then it's a week, 2 weeks until testing. And you're like, okay, sweet.
I mean, luckily for Barcelona, like for all of them that live in Monaco, that's like the easiest, like, private jet flight to get over. But still, it's going to be, they're going to come back from Christmas and immediate, like, Charles is normally on his, like, winter training trip during that time. So then he needs to they're probably refiguring it out, because then he needs to be back at the factory to do, like, that kind of stuff. It's gonna speed up the process. They're gonna end Abu Dhabi, the last race, and be like, we'll see you in like 2 weeks.
That's see you in a couple weeks. I mean, it would be nice though if it is because of the new regs, which like most likely is that next year it goes back to, or I guess the following year, so 2027, it goes back to the original testing lineup and everything, because then the team has a year with that car and everything, and they kind of know how they know how it performs and all the tracks and all this stuff, and so that way at least it's not like the drivers are expected to make this quick turnaround work like
all
year
the time,
in, year out.
They'll be exhausted by like Miami.
They'll hate it. They'll hate this upcoming year, but
they're gonna hate it.
If they know it's for 1 year, then they'll. I think they can shut up for a couple weeks, and I think they also understand it too. Again, new regulations, like yes, we want to. I'm sure there's a bit where they want to know how it drives in different climates and temperatures other than Bahrain. You know?
If you think about it, they're getting a shit ton of data. Those first between Bahrain and Barcelona, they're going to get so much data they can work with. So that'll be interesting to see. But and then the other piece of weekly news that came with the new preseason testing being released, that Baku next year in 2026, race day will be Saturday to accommodate for a national holiday that Sunday. So Baku next year will run just like Vegas. Everything will be a day earlier, but they announced that today to accommodate the national holiday. But yes, that was our weekends.
Those weekends always trip me up.
And that was so confusing.
I've gotten so accustomed to race day being Sunday that like when it's a Saturday, I'm like sitting there and I'm like, damn, I gotta go to work tomorrow.
But you're like, no,
I don't. Like
it's like a blessing, because then it's like, oh yeah, we have all day Sunday. Like
all day tomorrow to do what I need to do. Like
at least it's Baku, so like the timings aren't like normal race time, so it'll be like Thursday morning, Friday morning, Saturday morning.
Yeah.
It's like It's when it's like Australia and all of them, where it technically is like a day earlier for us. But I think the time difference, I'm like, I can't figure this out. Whatever
It's
one,
brutal.
I don't know if it's China or Japan. Whatever one is completely 12 hours.
China is.
It's like it's the easiest time change I figured out. It's just 12 hours later.
Oh, that might be Japan. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but China, all I know is China is the toughest one to watch because it's like it's 3 to 5 for us in the morning, and it's like
go to bed.
You go to I go to bed, but then it's like once it's done at 5, I'm like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Do I go to bed after, or do I just wake up and go to bed early next night?
Right. Do I just tough it out, drink a shit ton of coffee, and then go to bed at 8 p.m. the next day?
No, that's the one where I normally sleep on my couch for and because I know I'm not gonna sleep long, so I'll go sleep for another hour or two, and then I'll get up for the day and be good.
I think that's what I did because I was like,
you did.
I think I'm just gonna go to sleep right back here because I think Ange had to work the next morning, and I was like, I'm not gonna go and wake her up again.
Yeah, no, that one's the worst one. But yes, that was Pints and Pit Stops. I mean, that was week.
That was not Pints.
Now we thought last week I said the name wrong. This is Pints and Pit Stops.
This is Pints and Pit Stops.
But yes, Pints and Pit Stops. Obviously, you know the rules. Owen quizzed me on IndyCar last week, so I'm gonna be quizzing Owen on Austria this week. Owen does have a pint, so he will try his pint, and then I will ask him the questions. No, you're not.
No, because we were watching it all together and with mom and dad, so I wasn't paying close enough attention, and I just didn't have the time to watch highlights today.
No, but the things that I asked about were important parts that I know you saw and paid attention to.
Okay, all right. Well, my pint is by Voodoo Ranger. It is the Liquid Paradise IPA. I did have this I had this over the weekend when I first got it. So I know what it tastes like. I know it tastes very good. I love it. It's a delicious beer. The thing about Voodoo Ranger is all of their beers are really strong. So this one's a 7.8.
Damn, it's a Monday.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Anderson home, so
it's a good thing I got burgers to load up on too after
Anderson
I'm done
home,
with
he'll
this.
probably play video games as soon as we get off.
Yeah, Casey's pretty much describing my night.
What movie did you watch last night?
I actually didn't end up watching a movie. I watched more episodes of The Bear. So, yes. But here comes, this is the crack.
Oh, that was good.
That was good.
That was good. I thought the little one at the beginning was the whole thing, and I was like, no, that sucked, but it was good.
No, there's always that first press, and then there's the full one. So
something in my eye.
Yeah, that's good. That's just it doesn't taste like it's a 7.8.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it is very refreshing for what it is.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Is there a description flavor on it?
Flavor profile, on wine. It's
it just says New Belgium.
Of oak and apples.
Typically they do. Typically some cans will have
Is it on the box that you get because you got a whole pack?
I did. It might be on the box. Yes. Well, I got a variety pack as well. So I have a couple other ones as well in there. But all right, now for the pit stop portion of this.
5 questions, all about Austria. I will start the timer after the first one. Okay?
Got it.
I never know. I'm always have to double check, see where my finger is to make sure I hit start.
I do the same thing too.
Okay. Where did Gabby finish?
6th.
What penalty did Kimi receive?
Collision with another driver.
How many races in a row has Albon DNF'd?
2.
Who almost ruined Oscar's race?
Frankie Colapinto.
How many points separate Oscar and Lando in the World Drivers' Champion?
15.
2068.
I think I got 3 wrong is what I think I got.
I'll give you the... No, because I'm going to give you the penalty one. I was looking for what penalty he received. What did he get?
Oh,
but you gave me
he
what
got
it was
a 5-second
for.
penalty. I know that too. He got a 5-second penalty.
And then
yes.
I had them all listed. 5 seconds, 3-place grid drop, and 2 penalty points. So I had them all, but I'll give you that one because you gave me the reason why he got it.
Sorry, misheard the question.
No, it's okay. When I was typing it out, I was like, I don't know how to word this one to like make it seem okay. So your what's it called? Time is 20.68.
20.68.
That's your best time.
That is fast for me. That is fast.
You did get the first one wrong.
Love it.
Where did Gabby finish? She finished P8.
Damn it! You know what?
Liam
as soon
finished
as I
P6.
said P6, I had a little voice in my head that went P8.
Yeah, P8. You should have seen me. You weren't looking, and you said P6, and I was like,
Yeah. God damn it.
What penalty did Kimi receive? We just went over that, so I'll give you that point. How many races in a row has Albon DNF'd? It's 3. It's been this one, Canada, and Spain all in a row.
Damn it.
So that one you got wrong. So you only got 2 wrong. Who almost ruined Oscar's race? Franco is correct. And then how many points separate Oscar and Lando, the World Drivers' Champion? 15.
15.
So
all right. We're turning it around.
You got 3 correct.
We are turning it around.
So
go ahead.
No, as I say, so the meme I was going to bring up was Oscar's radio.
Oh, yes. Where he's talking about Alpine fucking him over years after still.
Yeah.
All right. So that is my fastest time.
I would say that has to be your fastest time.
That is my fastest time. We're both in the teens now. Look at that.
God,
my fastest time is a 1968. And my average time is a 26.79.
Damn, okay.
Which is still not the best.
It's
but
okay, though.
It's okay. We're getting better.
I'm not going to lie. I made that Pints and Pit Stops like 5 minutes ago. You texted saying I might be late, and I was like, oh, shit, I have to make Pints and Pit Stops.
That's all right. I've done that before, too, where I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like sitting here like logging in, and I'm like, I did not write down on Pints and Pit Stops at all.
Well, and you know what was annoying? Because the app changes my one gripe with the app and the website changing. It's not now called lap by lap. It's like, here's what happened or something. So it was like so hard. And it's not underneath like the race results. Like when you could go on to the website under the race results, it was lap by lap or like replay live timing. It's not there anymore. So I was like, it took me a while to find.
Wait, you know what? I have a gripe as well that I learned when I'm making my track facts. When you go to the circuit information, I always double check. Well, it is all the way at the bottom, but they don't have a direct link anymore to the 2024 results. So when I go to write down who won, I have to scroll back up, go to the schedule, go to 2024, and then find the race. Whereas originally it would be like, here's the circuit, here's how many turns, here's the length of it, boom, 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 boom. And then it would have quick links on the bottom. One of them was 2024 race results. And I would just click that and then be like, oh, okay, Max Verstappen won, Lando Norris. So, you know, like,
especially with last year when there was so many different winners, you just need to double check. And like winners that were then DQ'd, so you just have to double check. But yes. Well, Silverstone should have been easy to figure out. We knew that one.
Oh, I knew that one. Yeah. I knew that one, but I had to check the record, and that was
double check. Yeah.
But yes, Austria. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, a little less chaotic of a race, a lot less chaotic of a race than last year's.
But the start was chaotic, and then it mellowed out.
Yes. I'm still bummed that I missed that start. But
oh my God, I thought you were just gonna make it. Like for the actual start, and then they went to the safety car. I was like, oh no, well he didn't really miss much.
Yeah.
And then it make it through like the first corner. But
should we start there with Max and Kimi? I mean, there's not really much.
Oh no, we need to start from beforehand with Carlos, who was a do not start.
Oh yes, Carlos. This is spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the F1 movie. Carlos decided to pull a Sonny Hayes, and not be able to start his formation lap. So I haven't read like a full breakdown of what the issue was, but all I saw was that the car was stuck in first gear. He couldn't get it to move. Eventually, stewards or like why can't I think of it? Like racing crew came out and started pushing the car, and then he got it going. So I don't know if he needed just like a little bit of like a kickstart, but yeah, he was and
then his brakes caught on fire.
And then his brakes caught on fire, which does suck because that's like sucks in that situation because it's like when that happens during a race and it's like a pit stop, it's quick because it's like the car stops, brake catch on fire, you start driving again, they get cooled and flames go out. This being on the formation lap and then the subsequent restart of the race, so then after the second formation lap, and his car, he was standstill for a little bit, so it was just
the fire was pretty bad.
And he did eventually. What was he officially classified at?
Do not start. He didn't start.
Do not at DNS.
Because I think Isaac in Australia was a do not start because he crashed from the formation lap.
That's right. It feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Yes. So Carlos, unfortunate. I mean, it's just like.
I will give Carlos this because, like, obviously, like, he didn't have a good weekend at all. It was a weekend for him to forget because even doing practice and stuff, well, he had a good FP1. He always has a good FP1. Like, you can't get your hopes up as a Carlos fan watching FP1 because it literally gets right back to normal, like, the second half of in FP2. But he was not having a good weekend, and then qualifying, he obviously got out during Q1, and he was immediately over being like, something is wrong with his car. What is happening. But then there was obviously clearly something wrong with the car the entire weekend. I mean, it does suck. And then obviously you had Alex, like we just said, DNF for the third weekend in a row after he was on such a good streak. They are still in fifth because of all the points they have been able to grab. But, I mean, V-Carb is coming, especially after this weekend. But, I fear... And I hope this isn't true, but I fear we're going backwards with Williams. It's like they were so good at the beginning of the season. It's like now they're at a standstill and maybe going backwards some more, like with all the reliability issues and stuff coming up.
Yeah, I'm really
low today.
Same thing. I really hope that we're not regressing with them or they're not regressing. I will say, you kind of just pointed it out too. It is good that they are still in fifth because of the progress that they've made so far and the fact that they were able to get the points, beforehand and everything. And, is like, that's gotta be the silver lining that like James is focusing on and Alex is focusing on and Carlos is focusing on, that it's like, okay, we've had success this season and we know that. That's why we're still in fifth place and we're not just collapsing
dropping
down the order, so,
they're at 55 points right now. Racing Bulls is at 36. So
I mean that's scary. You know, that's a matter of a race potentially, especially if you have a race like you just.
If you have another two DNFs,
I mean that sucks. You don't want to see that, but yes, it is good for Williams that they've had success so far this season, that they are able to kind of have that parachute there for a little bit, but. You have another race you have another bad race next weekend at Silverstone. That parachute is getting a lot of bullets in it.
Well, I mean, based on what the weather looks like, it could be normal Silverstone conditions. So, it is sad to see for them. And just like James, when they showed Carlos's brakes on fire, and then they cut to James at the pit wall, and he had his face covered, I was like, man is pissed. He was angry. Upset. So hopefully we had to talk about them first because they obviously had no point. They were one of the only teams to score no points this weekend. The other team is I have to say, the hometown curse, the home race curse is hitting everyone this year. I said to someone earlier, we were talking about it. I said, I think the only person who hasn't really hit this past year was Charles in Monaco. He still had an okay race. He's still under the podium, but I mean, all the way back to Australia, you have Oscar have an awful race. Yuki, this past weekend, Red Bull's home race. Like, when was the last time Red Bull didn't score points at the Red Bull ring?
I know.
It's been a while. Someone posted a video of that Max grandstand that's was all in the orange for Max, and 30 minutes before the race end, they were all getting up.
I'm sure. I mean, your guy that you're there for is out entirely.
Out lap 1, turn 1.
Right. And it's not like other sports where it's it's like the Phillies and they're down 7 runs in the top of the 8th or something, and bottom of the 8th, whatever it is, and you're like, all right, there's a chance. There's a chance that something could happen. It's like if you're there to see Max, it's I'm here to see nothing now.
Yeah.
You know, like
he was. Yeah, they didn't even see him come around first lap.
yeah.
Yes. Now we can go back to Max and poor Kimi Antonelli.
It sucks to see that happen for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, especially like you said, it's Max's hometown race. It's
No, it's Red Bull's.
Red
Yeah.
Bull's hometown race. I'm sorry. It's Red Bull's hometown race, so it's like you don't want anything bad to happen to the drivers, but it is quite upsetting to see, and it's we said this before talking about it too. Like it's nobody's fault. You know, it's just it's a bad lockup from
Kimi,
and it's just like it's unfortunate, but it's just one of those things that it's like that happens.
Yeah.
In racing, so it's like,
and that's what they immediately got out of the car, and Kimi went right over to Max and apologized, and then there was photos that came out during the race that Kimi also went to Max in the hospitality and apologized again.
Yeah.
Max was his comments post-race, or I think he was in the media pen during the race, because I saw a video of him watching the Alonso and Gabby battle.
Bortoletto battle, yeah.
So Max said, I didn't know what happened, and he was behind me, so I asked him what happened, but we spoke to each other after. It's all okay. He told me, and he apologized after. It can happen. Nobody does that on purpose. I think every driver has experienced this.
Right.
Yeah, Max said it perfectly. We don't need to talk about this anymore. It's not like he maliciously drove into me to kill my race. We're done. We don't need to talk about this. Move on.
I think Kimi benefits from this too, in a sense that it's his first year in the sport, and it's like he doesn't have those long time experience or the long running rivalries of oh, did he do this on purpose? All this stuff. It's just straight up he's a rookie. It sucks that happened. Boom.
Move on.
Move on.
Well, someone posted saying this just shows how much it's changed since Max's rookie year. Because if he had a moment like that, the drivers, the vets, and the media pen were probably cursing him out, the way they treated him, the way he was treated in the media, all this stuff. So that's what people were saying. For Max to be the one being it's not his fault.
He's fine.
It's okay. But yeah, so that obviously sucked. They both were out. Lap 1, turn 1. Sorry, I closed out of the app. I had their standings up. George had an okay. Oh no, that's the actual standings. George had an okay race still. He finished 5th. He was far behind. Well, Charles was.
Oh, the gap was massive. That's right.
Yeah, the gap. Yeah, because the gap to Charles to Oscar is almost 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, so Lando, they lapped up to Fernando Alonso in 7th place. So
yeah.
But yeah, George had an okay one. I obviously think we'll get our predictions later. I think this upcoming weekend, it's the perfect conditions for Mercedes. It's the perfect conditions for George specifically. So, but yeah, okay weekend for them. Red Bull, though, on the other hand, this is a weekend for them to forget. Because then Yuki just couldn't
do anything.
No.
Yeah, I hate to say that about Yuki because I want him so desperately to succeed in that car and do well in that car, and it just seems like he cannot figure it out, and that sucks,
Well, it's not that he can't figure it out. It's the fact that they're finally understanding at that team that second car is not drivable by anyone other than Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
It's finally clicking after...
It's getting... Yeah.
How many years and how many teammates that car... is not okay. Alex Albon's only been telling us for how long since he was kicked out of F1 for a season, being hello, it's okay.
That car is,
But yes, Yuki had contact with someone, Franco, right? Because Yuki ended up with a 5-second penalty.
Yes, Yuki had contact with, what's it?
No, Yuki had a 10-second penalty for causing a collision with Franco. Because remember, there was that quick yellow flag, and everyone held their breath because they didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
It was near the end. So yeah, Yuki ended up with a 10-second penalty, and that's when it was okay, yeah, he's completely out of the points.
Yeah.
There's no coming back for that. But yes, Red Bull, we never talk about Red Bull so early as being the unforgettable team.
Well, the one thing,
this might be the first time ever.
The one thing I want to talk about is who would have thought that same thing that we talked about earlier. Who would have thought in 2 years ago that we would have been talking about Red Bulls not scoring points during a race,
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is a weekend for Red Bull to move on from and forget. I say this every time when a team has a bad weekend, but it's a benefit that they have Silverstone coming up immediately after, and then it's just, okay, wipe our hands of it, move on.
Yeah.
Which
I also feel like, so I think of Silverstone as a home race for Red Bull as well, because the what's it called? Factory is like 2 minutes away. So it's like, I understand why Red Bull Ring is their Red Bull home race, but like I also think of Silverstone as their home race.
Aren't they Milton Keynes?
Yeah, it's all of them. It's them.
Yeah. Aston Martin?
Alpine, Aston Martin, McLaren, Mercedes, they're all right there.
Williams?
Yeah, Williams.
Yeah.
Because just Ferrari and Sauber and Haas that aren't nearby.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
But yes, Alpine also a little bit unforgettable. They just got in the way of everyone this weekend. I feel like you should say not just everyone. They got in the way of Oscar the entire weekend.
They got in the way, because Oscar had that moment with Pierre earlier during qualifying, and then Oscar had the moment with Franco during the race, where Franco
Franco almost took him out.
Almost took him out, and the only reason that kind of gets like highlighted is because Franco was a back marker.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why
it wasn't DC being like, that shouldn't even be happening.
Right, yeah, DC was literally like, why did he do that?
Yeah.
Like, you should be going the opposite way to get out of the front marker's way, out of the leader's way. Like, it is, there was a weird moment with him.
Yeah.
I think it was the right call that the FIA made in terms of just like, hey, you forced him off the track. He was on the grass. That's it.
Don't do it again.
Yeah, don't do it again.
But yeah, it's obviously Alpine, even though they had some nice pink race suits, I really didn't see them once this weekend other than their social media posts. I'm just kind of going up. Aston Martin was okay. I mean, Lance wasn't too far away from the points. But yeah, obviously Fernando Alonso ended up having that battle with his manager or his athlete that he signed. His client at the end. So yeah, an okay week. I think a better weekend for Fernando Alonso. He's had some awful weekends this past season so far.
Which, like, I would love if he used the whole thing with Gabby to motivate himself and just kind of like turn his spirits around and everything. I mean, you could tell even through the helmets and everything at the end of the race. You could tell that he was legitimately happy that A, he was able to fight Gabby like that, and B, Gabby scored points and everything and ended in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I posted their...
And I mean, you were right. You had said this, I believe last week going into Austria, but like Austria is clearly just one of those tracks that Gabby gets to.
He was on it from the minute the race started.
He gets the track. He understands it. He's just like, this is my track. I know every nook and cranny here, and that's it. And he proved that by getting in the points. know.
No, the video of Alonso waiting for him to get out of this car, and then they just like hug each other is
right.
Yeah, you can tell he's very proud. But yeah, Alonso, after they asked him about it, obviously, and he said, I know how important it was for him with these points. He has been outstanding this season, and then Hülkenberg was scoring the points, and it felt a bit unlucky for him. But now he has scored the points, the first of many. So, like, no, I mean, the kid is good. That car was working well for them this past week. I mean, they both scored in the points. They were 8th and 9th. But, like, yeah, he looked good. He did also, I don't know if it was just Alonso, like he knows Alonso. He wasn't holding back. It wasn't like we were watching a rookie battle the vet. Like it wasn't it wasn't like watching Liam Lawson last year trying to battle Fernando Alonso and Fernando Alonso was pissed because he wasn't like,
it was getting a little ugly and everything. No, it was a clean, good, well fought battle between them.
No, it was a good one to. It was a good one. It was near the end because Gabby almost had him a few times.
Right, I think if Gabby had maybe 1 or 2 more laps, he would have caught him.
Yeah,
but you got to think too, like Fernando as the veteran that he is, and how many years he's been in the sport, all the people that he's, driven with and everything. Like that's got to be such a cool feeling of like, this kid that I am representing, and most likely in a way a mentor to.
Oh no, he is flat out upset because they said he was under the podium when he won his F3 championship. Like,
right,
looked like a proud dad. Like, he's definitely a mentor to Gabby.
Right. So like that's got to be such a cool moment for Fernando, just to be like if that was me in that situation and seeing this kid that I've like trained and like worked with and everything like coming up behind me, I'd be like, all right, let's fucking go. Like come on.
You're literally like you like get out and you're like, I think my legacy will live on. Like I think it's okay. Like I've trained the next one. My legacy will live on.
Yeah.
No, it was, and I'm so happy for Gabby Bortoleto. Like we said, he's not gotten the short end of the stick, but obviously that car is a little bit better than last year. So it's like, they've had it. Nico's had some good performances, but to finally have, like I said, I was like, this might be the Gabby weekend because he was just consistent in that top 10 the entire weekend. Yeah. But yes, great race from Steak. Good job, Steak, because like we said earlier, last year it was like second to last race. We were like, will they score points?
Will they get? Yeah.
Will they finally?
Will they do it?
And they did. Only like 1 point though, but they did.
And they did. And they did. Well, they've been outscoring Red Bull since. Yeah. It was just crazy.
Yeah, which is wild. Haas also kind of okay weekend. Ollie again was so close to the damn points. He was in 11th and Esteban was 10th.
He will get there. I have no doubt in my mind that he will get there. And it feels like each rookie so far this season is like having their own moments.
Yes.
You know, like it's kind of bad for Liam Lawson, but like you have the moment of the switch from Red Bull to V.
Yeah, but now Liam's like settling in and doing well.
So like you have that, then you have like the Kimi moment with him getting on podium for the first time. You have Isaac Hadjar, who has just been talked about the entire season, just being Mr. Consistency. You know, you just now have Gabby Bortoleto. So it's like Ollie's time is coming. You know?
Well, and it's not like, I mean, Ollie had a few, like the first race for, Haas in general was just awful for them. Like they was just, they were like, Isaac almost just like, okay, move on. But it's not like he's been awful. Like he's giving performances. He's just so close to the damn freaking points. It's just like, come on. Someone posted today, it makes no sense. Someone's like, I actually think this might be the first time in a while that I like every single rookie. Like they're all like they're all good.
I will say this. I like Liam Lawson a lot better now that he's back at VCARB.
Yeah.
I think
we said before, I think he got a little humbled.
He definitely got a little humbled. Now, granted, I know for a fact, I know myself well enough to say this, that if I was driving for VCARB and I got promoted up to Red Bull, yes, the ego trip would happen a little bit. You know, like there is no doubt in my mind that would happen. So I can understand it to a degree. But yes, now at VCARB, like you said, it feels like Liam has settled in a little bit more.
Yep.
He is doing okay, and he is just like, you know what? I'm cool with this. I'm having fun. You know, him and Isaac are killing it in the, TikTok and everything and all this stuff. And I'm sure he's been able to let his shoulders relax a little bit on that.
Well, you can see the culture between the two teams is so much different between Red Bull and VCARB. So I don't think he ever should have been caught up to begin with. VCARB is the correct nurturing environment. I mean, they are a true junior team. Yeah. So having the two young ones to learn the whole process, I think Isaac staying there the entire season is going to do wonders for him when he finally gets to call up. But yeah, I am happy for, Liam, P6, he finished. And then Ferrari, I literally can't say anything bad about Ferrari. I mean, after Friday, I had no hope. After Friday. I thought Lewis damaged his gearbox. I was like, he's probably going to take like a freaking penalty. I don't know how many he has left. Lewis and Charles like kind of had it. Well, he missed out on FP1 and then FP2. It was like kind of okay. Yeah, I thought it was over. And then they come back FP3 and I was like, oh, okay. Like you look good.
Yeah.
But they kind of just laid low and were just like consistently good race day. Because I mean, the qualifying was better than I expected, and then I knew obviously going in the race pace was good. So I I wasn't worried about the race with the race pace, and they held
Right.
her, and Charles Slaughter said he was like it was a boring race the entire time.
Which I can understand it was boring for them because they were kind of just in their own little world the whole time.
It wasn't even him and Lewis were even close together. They were just like
both of them were just like let's go for a Sunday drive.
The only thing I would say, and I missed this when we were watching yesterday, but I saw the clip of it. Lewis says he didn't want to come in. He was okay. And then they're like, okay, box. Like, they just completely... It's still the communication between Lewis and his race engineer, but it's also
so
just...
weird.
It's still Was it last week or... Was it Canada or Spain where I forget who said it? Oh, Villeneuve. It was Canada where Villeneuve was like, they're just not listening to their drivers. Their drivers are the one on the track dealing with the tires. I think they have a better feeling than what the data is telling the team in the garage. But it's just the communication they still have to work on. But
what was the race where they end and Lewis asked them, like, are you guys mad at me or something? And like there was no answer.
I think it was Spain because he said Spain was one of the worst races of his entire career.
Okay.
Lewis. I think it was Spain. But they moved back up to P2 in the constructors, but there's only 1 point separating them and Mercedes. It's 210 to 209. So
right.
But okay, race weekend. Like I was like, oh, for Charles on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, you get what? It was Lando, Oscar, Charles, Lewis, right? Yeah. I mean, you take that. That's third or fourth from a, like Charles kind of said, like a boring race weekend for them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah.
You know what I think is hilarious? The people that have the new like Ferrari fans that came in maybe from Lewis switching over, when they hear that Charles is lifting and coasting, and they're like, why is he always told that? People are like, he's been told to lift and coast every single year he's been in Ferrari. Like this is a normal thing. They tell him to lift and coast. This is not like when you hear them say lift and coast, it's not like, oh my God, he's going to end up crashing. Like his brakes are going to get on fire. This is just normal because when they tell him to lift and coast, his lap times were pretty even with the McLaren boys up front. Like he was on par with them. It wasn't like he was slowing down or anything. But I do think it's funny when people are learning lift and coast and Charles hearing it all the time, and it's like, no, it's normal.
Well, it doesn't really inspire confidence when you see the radio come up, lap 10 at most? And they're like, hey, we need Lyco every lap. And it's like...
He's like... And what? He was like, I am doing that.
Yeah. And it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Why does he need to do that every lap?
Every lap.
Like...
Yeah. No, it doesn't make sense. But... I did see Fred will be back for Silverstone, so I hope whatever happened with Fred is okay.
Hopefully him and his family are
whatever
right.
was definitely urgent because he was there Friday and Saturday and then just left. But yes, McLaren.
I really don't have a lot to say for this because it was a clean race from them. It was a dominant race from them. Yeah, and I mean, it's a good result. It's a great result. It's a perfect result, actually. It's a 1-2 McLaren with Lando winning. It's
and the 20-second gap to the third place.
Yeah, as a McLaren and Lando fan, that's exactly what I want. But I think it was a great race. The one thing I will say, I really appreciate the clean racing between them. That was a good segment of racing. That was like, oh shit, Oscar could get him. And from what we've seen from Oscar, you got to think Oscar will get him.
Yeah, if Franco didn't ruin his race, I think Oscar was going to get him.
And then it's just good back and forth for a couple laps. Unfortunately, after that, you get into pit windows, stuff like that, and it kind of just gets, settled into the order at that point. But great race. Loved it. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it.
I can talk not race with them. I can talk about Alex Dune and FP1 and how he finished P4.
True. Very true.
And if I ever hear if I ever hear Lando and Oscar say again that car is not quick or whatever, I'm going to scream at them because that car is quick. You had a F2 driver sit in the car for the first time and go P4, literally like a tenth off of Oscar's time.
Yeah.
Your car's quick. It's good. You don't lie anymore. Don't lie.
Yeah.
You don't lie. You don't have to move silent. We're halfway through the season. We know your car's quick. So just let us know the car's quick. But yeah, I mean, kudos to Allison for going P4 and FP1. That was
Great to see it.
If that didn't open like Audi's eyes, if that didn't open Cadillac's eyes, they'd be stupid.
It definitely
Not Audi, Cadillac.
People are listening. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be shocked if people's heads are kind of turning now and they're like, "Oh shit," you know, like.
And you also hope because like Andretti does have a hand in Cadillac, Andretti and Zach Brown do have a good
relationship.
Good relationship. People have said, can they do like what Williams did for George, and they like loaned him to Williams, or Mercedes loaned George to Williams and gave him time in a quote unquote junior team to learn the system. So
yeah.
But yeah, good race from McLaren. I will say it was good, but I have a bold prediction for this upcoming weekend.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
It's not really bold. I just think I'll explain. I mean, we're going into that now.
Okay.
But yeah,
I was like, isn't that our next segment that we're going into?
We
Is predictions?
say that our recap was brought to you by Furious Motorsport.
Yes, thank you to Furious Motorsport for being a part of our lovely little crew. We love the company. We love everything about them. I'm so excited because we should mention this too. We are going to watch Silverstone from the F1 Arcade in Philadelphia. I will for sure be wearing a jersey. I know Ange is going to be wearing her Lewis Hamilton crop top jersey. I am very excited to go there and watch it and see that and everything. And I might actually wear my Schumacher shirt. It'd be more fitting for Suzuka, but great company. We love them so much. Use code UNDERGROUND10 when shopping to get 10% off your order. You can also follow the link in our social media bios. That will take you directly to their website and automatically apply the link for you, or the code for you.
Yeah, for a code.
So we do recommend doing that. Like I said, you can use code UNDERGROUND10, spelled exactly the same way as the show is, but use the link. It'll do it for you. You don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to think about how our show is spelled. You just get that's it.
Which is easy for me because I still have to think about how our show is spelled sometimes.
Right.
But yes, race predictions. We will do IndyCar first. So IndyCar is back this weekend. They took a week off. They're at Mid-Ohio this weekend. This one is always a good one. It's a funky looking shape. It's 90 laps. The track is about 2 1/3 miles long with 13 turns. Elevation changes and everything. A good solid racetrack. I can go first if you want me to, or do you have predictions?
Go ahead.
It's boring at this point, but I'm gonna pick one of the two people that have won every single race.
Fair.
I'm gonna go with Alex Palou, P1. I know it's boring, but Alex Palou, P1. I'll do Kyle Kirkwood, P2.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and then Christian Lundgaard, P3. I feel like he's due back on the podium. Did I take your exact?
You fucking just read my mind.
All right, Alan, what are your predictions?
God. Well, my predictions, once you said Alex Palou, I was going to say, all right, I'll go Kyle Kirkwood P1. And then I said, all right, well, if I'm going Kyle Kirkwood P1, then I'll go Alex Palou P2. And then I was like, what else can I throw in there? And then I thought, oh, I want to see Christian Lundgaard back on the podium. And you said, I'm going to go Christian Lundgaard P3.
All right, well, there you go, people. Christian Lundgaard, we hope you end on the podium because that's the only one we have similar. So
yeah, honestly.
But yes, that's Mid-Ohio. That race is Sunday. I don't know what time. 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Nice little time. It kind of goes like, I think it's like right Silverstone. Yeah. A little break and then Mid-Ohio. Celebrate 4th of July weekend with some American.
Some IndyCar.
Yeah. We can't get more American than that.
Yeah.
You can watch IndyCar and NASCAR, I'm sure.
Watch some IndyCar. Crack open a Budweiser.
Get the grill going.
Play some Bruce Springsteen.
Light some fireworks when they cross the finish line.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
Happy 4th, people.
You'll see a fucking bald eagle fly over your yard and screech.
Silverstone. Well, as Owen said, we will be at the F1 Arcade for the watch party, Silverstone. Yes. We'll post this with the link where you can buy your tickets. We'll be there. I'm excited for our parents and Ange to experience the arcade for the first time. I'm excited to watch a race from the arcade for the first time.
I'm pumped. I'm so excited for
it. And
it.
it's Silverstone, so you know it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a good race.
Yeah.
I like it, especially like if it is like crappy weather too, like just throwing that wild card in there. But yes, I am very excited to watch it from the arcade.
Yeah. So yes, get your tickets for that, and we'll see you there because we'll be there.
See you there.
I was gonna look up. I don't know.
Were we gonna look up weather?
The weather for Silverstone. Well, I just did Milton Keys just because that was the easiest thing to come to mind first. Oh yeah. Let me tell you, it's ideal British summer weather.
Look at that. It's fucking muggy and wet, isn't it?
Well, not really muggy. Friday is 78, sunny and cloudy. Saturday is 71, cloudy with occasional rain showers. There's a 50% chance of rain the entire day. Race day, 69, mostly cloudy, and like a 50% chance of rain again. So
cold and wet.
But do you want me to go first with my bold prediction?
Yeah, I want to hear yours first.
Okay, I just think
I don't read your mind, and
you might actually read my mind. I'm gonna go Oscar P1 this weekend. I think he's gonna wipe the floor with everyone, just from the way he got out of the car and talked to them post qualifying, and he's like, "Well, I'm not finishing P3 tomorrow." And then the way he was like, I know he was alone in the cool down room, you couldn't see his face, but the way it didn't even look like he was breathing, and he was just sitting there like.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell he was stoic, and I was like, oh, that man is pissed about how his qualifying ended and about how his race ended.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be on a...
Can I take a stab at your P2?
Yeah, sure, go.
Are you thinking Kimi P2?
I wasn't actually, but I do think a Mercedes is on... I was thinking more George because the conditions are more to George.
Okay, all right. Okay.
And then I have to go with Lewis P3 because I need Lewis on the podium. I need this to be his first podium in Ferrari. I just need. It'll be an insane scene. But yeah, I hope the hometown curse does not attack every single driver because that means there's a lot of drivers.
A lot of British drivers. Lot of British drivers.
Lando, that's George. I'm counting Alex Albon. That's Lewis Hamilton. That's that's too many. Ollie Bierman. That's too many. Too many drivers. But yes, so it's Oscar, George, Lewis is my podium.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna channel a little bit of you for home race magic. I know we just saw him win, but I'm gonna go Lando P1.
No, because that'll be so cool.
If it is a wet race, I'm a little concerned about that. But the reason I'm picking him is because if it is a wet race, I would love if Lando could do that and then like show that like, hey, I can also win in these conditions, which would be great to see. But so I'm gonna go Lando P1, and then I'm gonna join in full kind of delusion. Just kind of keep going with that. I am gonna go Kimi P2, and I'll join you on the Lewis P3. Yeah, that's what I would like to see.
I need Lewis on the podium. I need it to happen.
Yeah.
I need it to like all come together this weekend. It's also conditions he does love.
Right.
He's also great in those conditions. I don't know if the Ferrari likes those conditions, but it's because Silverstone last year for Ferrari was atrocious.
Yeah, it was bad. You know who's also good in these conditions?
Who?
MaxVerstappen.
Yeah, he's very good on these. You can't count him. And after last weekend, speaking of someone that's going to wipe the floor clean, it's probably going to be Max.
Yeah. He's like itching for a race because he hasn't had one. Yeah. Like in like 2 weeks, could be like, give me a race. Give me a race.
That'll be he'll be the one that's like they said Lando's pole gap, like the margin for pole was the largest. No, Max is going to be like 12 billion seconds separating.
Yeah.
P1 to P2. But yes, it should be doing. We'll see you at the arcade. I don't have anything else. I don't think there was really anything F1 threads wise this week.
Alrighty.
Oh wait, someone just said he wasn't there because his mom died.
Oh, for Fred?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. Those are people.
That's sad. If that's true, that is very sad.
Wait, you have to go watch Funny James, that does all the motorsport content
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about. He brought a
Yes.
Super 8 film camera to the Indy 500.
Yes.
He posted the Weenie 500 shots, and it's so funny.
That's good.
So good. But yes, thank you so much for joining us for episode 115 of Underground Circuit. Got the name right today. We'll be back
There we
next
go.
week for 2 pints and pit stops, 2 race recaps, and then we have a nice little break before the next F1 race. I know there's IndyCar next week will be a doubleheader. We'll have to give predictions for. They're in Iowa Saturday and Sunday they raced. So that'll be fun. But yes, thank you so much for joining us. As always, go give us a follow over on Instagram and Threads at Underground Circuit _ on Twitter or X at UG Circuit Pod, on TikTok over at Underground _ Circuit. We have fun stuff we're posting there, a lot more and stuff. So also wherever you listen to your podcasts, like, comment, subscribe. But yes, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you all next week.
See you later, people.
Have a